You needed. I want to talk about this Reddit post here, which is why is the relationship to her father so telling when it comes to women, and something that probably every male has come across if he's with someone and wants to have it be more than be a little serious, more than just dating casually. Wanted to dive into a couple of responses in this thread, particularly this one, which seems to this person probably has some sort of like psychiatric or psychological training to dissect this. But the comments that this person made are first off, if they experience this like a lot of problems at home, but don't have a strong male figure or parental figure in general, they manifest into personality disorders with fear, anxiousness, avoidance, disorganized attachment styles. Personally dealt with some of this, and absolutely that is the case. It's particularly the anxiety, something that I can relate to. And it's just a tough one to deal with because that person is always waiting for the other foot to fall. And they create situations that they're going to inevitably end in conflict, but they don't recognize that they're doing it. And when they do cause conflict, they blame it on somebody else. So this one definitely hits close. The other one that was interesting in here was this woman talks about how she had been to an all-girls school and that they noticed that people who had a good father figure tended to choose boyfriends who also were good to them in their lives. And those that had bad father figures tended to choose people who treated them pretty badly as well. And goes on to say that how they treat their daughter at 14 will largely determine how they interact with men at 40. So a lot of truth into this. And I guess my takeaway would just be pay attention to how someone interacts with their father figures in their lives. A quick personal example, one that I actually dealt with, it wasn't the dad. The dad was kind of weak. It was older brother who had taken on, in her eyes, the role of, kind of father figure, but just male figure that she had respect for. The problem with that is that he really wasn't equipped for that. That wasn't his role. And what I saw over time with them is really that she had this great deal of respect for him, but he really wasn't providing much to her. She kind of had misguidedly misplaced all of this trust and respect with this guy, even though he really wasn't there for her in her life. If she had issues talking to her now, he may have at one point, but it wasn't something that, I ever saw continue on as she proceeded in life, being there for her, getting together with her, spending quality time, that sort of thing. So I think that's probably another component of this as well, is if they don't have a strong figure, someone else will take on that role kind of as a surrogate, but they may not necessarily be in a position to really give them what they need. So anyway, take that into account. I know some people like to get into, hey, is it possible that I can meet someone and she has a really crappy relationship with her father or brother or whatever, uncle? And the answer is yes, but, and I'm going to reference this a lot in these videos, this is the bell curve. Standard distribution, as we all remember from statistics class or just in general with grading, things like that. And what this communicates is, where things tend to fall in a normal distribution if you have a big enough sample. With humans, I mean, we follow this so often in so many things. And so what you're talking about when you have someone who had kind of like a crappy home life, let's say they had a terrible home life, dad was non-existent, or he was there, but he was bad to them, emotionally abusive, potentially physically abusive, whatever the case was. And you're wondering if she can turn out to be, a good partner, a good mom. Yeah, but it's probably going to be, over here, right? It's going to probably be in like the tail of this curve, like this 0.1 or 2% of all the people. You're finding an anomaly, right? Whereas the majority of people who have just kind of a really crappy home life, or this thing happened, they're going to probably distribute they're probably going to display a lot of the behaviors that we were just talking about with like anxiety and avoidance and all of these like emotional walls they put up, and they're going to probably fall in here. That's when the vast majority of people are going to fall. And that's not just, notice with women, I'm sure men are the same, but that's just something to keep in mind is, can something happen outside of the norm? Absolutely. Just keep in mind you're over here, you kind of got a lottery ticket versus what normally happens, which is going to be in this range. So kind of wrapping up that, just like I said, one of those things that as you get on in life, absolutely relationships with parents, with dads, with moms, are going to absolutely affect your relationships later in life, their relationships later in life. So something to pay attention to is you're dating someone and quote unquote, shit testing them or just testing them. That's something to look out for. How do they get along with them, and really paying attention. Is it really a close relationship? And real quick, it can go the other way too, right? Having a strong and loving relationship is really a great thing. Having someone too involved is another piece of that, right? If they're going just overboard with their dad is just everything in their life, or their brother is just everything in their life, and blah blah blah, man, that's going to be tough because you're trying to make a life with them with you two. So there needs to be the healthy would be strong and they want them there, but realizing that their relationship is with you and it doesn't include other people. So that would be the takeaways from that. A couple of cool, interesting points. We'll go ahead and end that topic. Saw a cool YouTube video the other day about this Dark Horse, which is a hypersonic aircraft. I won't go too much into this because I'm not an engineer, but you can see the speed there, Mach 5. This is something that this one I think is for surveillance, but there's another version they have on their website for passenger aircraft they want to get into at some point. So it was Dark Horse, Hermes US is the name of the company right there. Give this a shot. Pretty cool. Last thing I'll talk about real quick is just a song recommendation. Soma by the Smashing Pumpkins. If you have never heard of these guys, give this song a shot. It's off of their Siamese Dream album. I believe it came out in 93. It's kind of a longer song, about 7 minutes, but a ton of layering. Definitely will get you pumped up there at the end. If you're into guitar at all, this will be something that you'll enjoy. All right, you'll have an awesome day.